Hey everyone, this is Brenton, your FM Walleyes president. We appreciate you all taking time out of your evening to join us tonight as we deliver really our first ever virtual FM Walleyes meeting. Obviously, we had to cancel our meeting last week, so we're using this Thursday to deliver some content and deliver some information to all of you, our members, our followers, and our guests. A special thanks to Dave Wasness for keeping our youth entertained virtually here earlier with a message on our Facebook Live page, which you all can continue to watch. And also Dave came up with the Kids Art Contest, which was in our monthly newsletter this month. And we're excited to see those drawings come back from you all, from your kids, and make sure to get those in the next couple of weeks as well. I wanted to take a few minutes tonight to go over a couple of announcements and a couple of updates from our club. From there, I'll be turning it over to Rick Mohan and Eric ZIETZ, and they'll be giving some information about our upcoming 2020 Classic Cup tournament season, which we're all very excited about here on the board of directors. You've actually caught me in my kitchen tonight. I'm working on one of my favorite walleye recipes. Been up to Devil's Lake a few times in the past couple weeks, still trying to get out and safely fish and safely enjoy some of that outdoors time. Working on pickled walleye here. So just on the first phases of it, which is vinegar and salt. So some of you pickled fish eaters know that it is a timely process, but it's worth it in the end. I will be sharing this recipe with everyone tonight as well here in the email so that you all have it and that you can maybe make some pickled fish to enjoy yourself. It's been a lot of fun also following many of you as you are still able to safely get out and enjoy the outdoors. I've seen a lot of people get their spring turkeys. Congratulations on that. I've also seen a lot of friends and colleagues from the club fishing and ice fishing at Devil's Lake and getting out, getting their boats out and getting them ready for the time when we can all get back out and enjoy the outdoors. Of course, if you are able to safely get out to do some outdoor activities and stay healthy doing that, whether it's yard work or whether it's casting a line for that first time this year, looking forward to following you all on that as well. Did want to quickly mention, I know that we've missed a few of you here at our March meeting at our LWIFE event, just simply because those events were canceled. We still have our online membership available for you all to log in and get your membership renewals done. That membership is $25 a year, of course. It does come with that membership card, and you can do that by printing out your membership form online and sending that in with a check. Or, of course, our newsletter has a membership application on that as well. That is the best way for us to stay in touch with our members is by getting those membership renewals and getting you on our email list, on our distribution list, so that we can make sure to get you all what you need from the club, besides Facebook and our website. From there, I wanted to give you all an update to let you know that at this point, our May 21st meeting, some of our other events that we have planned here for the summer are still on as scheduled. Of course, as a board, we're talking together almost daily to keep an eye on the recommendations from the national leadership on our events and what maybe can or what maybe new rules need to be implemented to make sure that those events can go on without being canceled. Of course, we're going to keep open communication with you all as we make decisions on those events. So I would encourage you, if you have questions, you can call myself or email our board of directors. We're here to get those questions answered for you. Again, thank you all for joining us tonight. Looking forward really to seeing you all again in person, hopefully at the May meeting, maybe a youth event this summer, maybe one of our Classic Cup tournaments. Again, we're excited about the upcoming schedule. We know that it's an uncertain time, but we still want to stay in touch with all of our members. So thanks for joining us tonight. Next up is going to be Rick Mohan and Eric ZIETZ, and they're going to give you a 2020 Classic Cup update. Looking forward to seeing you all soon, and stay safe.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rick Mohan.
And I'm Eric ZIETZ.
Together, we are co-tournament directors for the FM Walleye Classic Cup tournaments for 2020. You'll probably take note that is a change from prior years. We've had just wonderful service from our previous tournament directors, and we decided to let them take a little time off, and Eric and I are going to step up here this year. So one of the first things that we wanted to talk about is just what's going on from this whole public health perspective with such a huge story. We will tell you is that we're moving forward with in planning on the 2020 Classic Cup season as if it's going to happen. And so that's the way we're moving forward. With that said, tournament permits are issued by the Minnesota DNR, and these permits may be revoked for public health reasons, as what has happened in North Dakota. To date, we haven't heard anything from the DNR. They've been silent on all of that. And I suspect a big reason for that is that they feel like they have time because, the walleye season is currently closed and, won't open until Mother's Day weekend. So I'm sure they feel like they have a little bit of time to see how, the broader news story unfolds. So, we're monitoring that situation closely, and we will certainly keep everyone up to speed as we learn more. But with that being said, we're excited about the tournament season. We want to encourage you to participate if that's something you're excited about. So go ahead and please enter the tournaments that you want to. And I want to make it very clear and upfront that if the DNR unfortunately has to suspend these tournaments for the public health reasons, I want you to know that you guys will all be getting a full refund back. There's no financial risk. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We'll see if one will happen here. If we'll be able to start with Pelican. And I guess that's the other point is that we may end up having to lose a tournament, but we might be able to salvage, some of the others. So we'll stay tuned and we'll figure our way through that. So Eric, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, with the tournament dates, so this year, the tournament dates are set. Pelican Spring Classic is going to be May 29th and 30th. So May 29th and 30th, that's the one right now that Rick alluded to that may be questionable, and we'll figure that out as we go. The deadline to enter that one is going to be May 24th. So we've got some time between now and May 24th to think about that. The next tournament is a new one for us. We're going to do a Big Pine Classic Summer Shootout. So this one is going to be the one that replaces Ottertail, and this is going to be a one-day catch photo release tournament. That one's going to be held on a Sunday, June 21st. So Father's Day, June 21st, one-day shootout on Big Pine. Entry fees for that one are due on June 14th. So if you want to be in, make sure you send that in by June 14th. And again, that's a one-day catch photo release on Big Pine. The next tournament's Cormorant Fall Classic. That one is, the dates are going to be Saturday, September 19th and Sunday, the 20th. Entry deadline for that one's going to be September 13th. So if you want to get into the Cormorant Classic, September 13th is going to be the date on that one. Those are the dates. The fees this year for each tournament, Pelican Classic and the Cormorant Classic are both $280 like they were in the past. The one-day summer shootout, we've got a pretty decent prize. First prize is a Lund boat package. So that one is $20 more. That's going to cost $300 for the one-day shootout. Those are the fees for the three tournaments. Jumping right in, speaking of prizes, of course, we have our Classic Cup Championship is back in effect this year. We've made some changes to that. Last year you had to fish all three. This year we changed it up a bit. So if you fish all three tournaments, you're going to fish a total of 5 days. We decided that we're going to award points daily, starting with 200. Okay, so first place, or the biggest weight per day, is 200 points. And we're going to go down from there, back off 1 point per place. But instead of fishing all the tournaments, we're going to take your best 3 days. That's going to give a lot of flexibility for anglers that can't fish all three tournaments. You know, you can put this together. Maybe you want to fish the Big Pine Shootout and the Fall Classic, or maybe you want to fish Pelican, the Spring Pelican Classic and the Big Pine Shootout. So that's 3 days. Or you can fish them all, and we'll take your best 3 days of fishing, take your best points for each day, add them 3 together, and that'll be your total for the year. And that's how we'll figure out the championship. Obviously, you don't have to fish them all. If we'll take 2 days. We're going to add up all the points at the end of the season, and the best. But you have an opportunity to fish. You have an opportunity to weigh your best 3 days. So we're going by points, not total weight. Best points for each of your best 3 days.
And I might point out, Eric, is that, with historically, our Classic Cup Championship has always been calculated based on points. Now, obviously, it was your performance based on the tournament that those points were derived from, but we've always used points.
Yep. So now, I mean, it gives a little more flexibility. A guy could have an off day in one of the 2-day tournaments and still salvage it for the Classic Cup Championship. So it's going to add a little feature. I don't think it's really going to shake up. So yeah, it's not going to be a negative. So the best 3 days you fish, we're going to add those points up, and that's going to be your championship total. Rule meetings, we're going to conduct rule meetings pending whatever public necessities we have to accommodate for those. But just briefly for the rules, Pelican and Big Cormorant, similar rules, with the exception of Big Cormorant. One change we did make this year, we are not going to allow culling on Big Cormorant. Instead, we're going to let you put 7 fish in the box. So you'll bring your best 6, you'll bring all 7 to the weigh scale, and we'll take your best 6 fish. You'll pick out your best 6. The 7th one will go back into the lake, but we're going to fish for 7 fish. You're going to weigh your best 6, no culling. And we did that to offset a no dead penalty this season. And then Big Pine, that's 1 day shootout. It's going to be a similar setup. All the rules are listed on our website for each tournament individually. Feel free to go on our website and look them up. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us for the rules. Next, I'll let Rick talk about some of the stuff we're working on to help make this season a little more successful too.
Well, so guys, yeah, it's there's a lot of excitement both for Eric and I in terms of moving forward, and some of the changes that we just like to use to make the tournament experience more streamlined, more efficient, easier on the volunteers. And some of the things that we're looking at is some tournament management software. And some of this software, then there's some hardware capabilities that, the scale will read right to a computer. It'll generate a printed weigh slip. So we're exploring some of those things now with the idea of, just bringing a higher level of efficiency and just professionalism to what we're doing with the Classic Cup tournaments.
Rick, that'll really benefit speeding up our weigh-in.
Yeah, it really should. It really should. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Eric, why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit more about how the monies are going to work?
So another change, small change to help put more money in the anglers' pockets. The bonus, the side pot, we're going to make that 100% payback on the bonus pot. So if you do join the bonus pot there, it is a $50 fee per tournament. If you join the bonus pot, that's going to be 100% payback.
So in prior years, the club had retained a little bit of that. The philosophy is that we wanted to, support club activities, but we want to grow the tournament. So, we've made a decision to do that. The other thing that, as in the past, and will continue, is that the bonus is you can, purchase your team when you send in your entry, and anyone can purchase any team that hasn't already been purchased if that happens by the end of the rules meeting. So you could still purchase yourself at the rules meeting if you change your mind, and if you see an opportunity of there's some good sticks in a boat and they haven't purchased themselves, you can purchase them yourself. So but that is all wrapped up then at the end of the rules meeting. So and we've done that in the past as well. So a couple of years ago with Ottertail, we had done it in Calcutta, and we made a decision to move away from that because it took a lot of time, and we just didn't sense that there was a lot of excitement around that. The bonus is just cleaner. So these changes ultimately, guys, is that we're looking to figure out ways in which we can grow our tournaments, grow the participation, grow the excitement, and hopefully increase the fun for everyone, for all the participants. They are competitive, but one of the things that's become apparent is that they're very social too. I know in watching all the participants over the last few years, I know all of the teams, and when they get together, there's usually a lot of fellowship and a lot of fun, and that's what we want it to be. We're obviously wanting to. And one comment that I will make is that already with the entries that have come in to date, there seems to be a tremendous amount of excitement around the Big Pine Shootout. And there's a lot of current club members or tournament participants, historical participants, but there's a bunch of new ones too, and that's really exciting. That's really good.
Yeah, it is. And like Rick said, we're really working hard to grow each tournament. We want to make this successful. We want to make it a good experience all around from start to finish. And hey, we're open to any ideas that anybody has, right? I mean, that's the only way we're going to make it work. So don't feel bad. Don't be afraid to pull us off to the side or give us a phone call. Let us know what's on your mind, and if we can make changes that are for better for everybody, we're obviously going to take a hard look at that and make sure we can accommodate what we can.
Right. So, we like to think that we've struck a balance this year. I mean, clearly, last year there was a big change with the fact that we changed the format at Pelican to a catch, record, release, and that went over extremely well. And what drove that is that, of course, we were off-site for our weigh-in, and but that was a really good accommodation, and I think we got a lot of positive feedback. People enjoyed that format. This year, a big change for us will be the Big Pine, a single day, and of course, because of that, we had to adjust Classic Cup and how that process played out and how it was calculated. Cormorant really, other than, like I say, the idea behind bringing in 7 fish, no dead penalty, the idea of not being able to call, that's the change there. I have heard feedback from some folks that, well, why don't we make the big Cormorant fall tournament, our fall classic, a catch, record, release as well? And to be honest with you guys, guidance from the DNR, they don't want us to do that. And to be honest with you, the last few years around that tournament, a lot of fish were taken deep, and there were dead loss that we wish didn't happen. And the DNR does not want us releasing fish and then having them floating back around. So they've given us guidance that they much prefer our approach, and the fact that we're very careful about if fish don't survive, is we make sure that they're harvested and it doesn't become an eyesore on the beach, and it doesn't become a topic of conversation for lake owners and all that stuff. And they're very okay with all of that in terms of the impact that we have on the fishery. They know that the way we're conducting these tournaments, that we're in line with the biology that they would recommend.
So I guess to start kind of wrapping this up, a few items also, we'd like to really encourage you guys and gals that are fishing the tournaments, if you're not memberships of FM Walleye, if you're not a member of FM Walleyes, we certainly encourage that. We do a lot of youth outreach and education. You'll see Dave Wasness talk about that here today. And then also, we put a lot of money back into stocking programs. So that's what we do with our monies that we come in, that we generate through tournaments and our memberships. So again, we encourage you to join. If you would, please take some time to fill that out. We'd really surely like to have you.
And come to the meetings. They're a lot of fun. We enjoy the fellowship.
And then lastly, I guess, every year we have a raffle. This year we're having another raffle. It's going to be a little bit different than most years, but a lot of the same prizes that we've had on some of them in the past. But look for the raffle to be coming out here shortly, and we'll be selling tickets all summer and fall. The goal is to draw in early December, so watch for our raffle coming out soon. Don't be afraid to either buy tickets or help sell. We'd always we like to help when we can take it, so not gonna turn you away.
Well, that's, I think, our Classic 2020 Classic Cup tournament update. Thanks for viewing the meeting. I hope the technology wasn't well, we certainly haven't mastered it, but we hopefully that was it's worked well enough for you to learn the information, get the information that you want. So with that being said, we wish all of you folks good open water, good spring, and and I know everyone's going to be anxious to get out on the water here, and hopefully we'll see you here at the tournaments here at the end of May, or if not that, later in June.
Yeah, for sure. Take the time and fill them out, get them sent in. Love to have you.
All right, take care, folks.
Good evening.
Kyle AGRE here. Thank you, Rick and Eric, for that update on our Classic Cup tournaments. I, for one, am extremely excited about what this season is going to bring for those events. It's great to see these two fellas step in to maintain the tradition that's been there through our Classic Cups over the last 35 years, but also bring some new life and ideas into this series of tournaments. It's going to be an exciting year and a whole lot of fun to be a part of that. Thank you, Brenton, for pushing the board and the club forward here to this idea of a virtual meeting at a time when we can't gather together in person. It's still a great way to stay in touch, to be getting the information and updates to all of our members, all of you who are watching. And we certainly appreciate that as well. And thank you, Dave, for your earlier youth event on Facebook Live. Whole lot of fun, and a lot of fun seeing the youth activities here that are going on within the club. I want to share with you just a few things that I have been directly involved with, some things that are exciting, and some updates on some things as well. First off, just to backtrack a little bit, our LWIFE event, our Lake Winnipeg ice fishing excursion, as we know, was canceled this year due to our current quarantine situation and the border closing. I, for one, have certainly missed out on that trip in March to Lake Winnipeg, the fishing, and more than the fishing, all of our friends up there in Manitoba. We wish them well. We hope they're doing great, and we are looking forward to seeing them again next year. We already have dates for our 2021 LWIFE event, March 19th through the 21st, which is a Friday to a Monday. And as of many of you who participate in that event know, some of us go up a little earlier, some stay a few days later. But those are our dates for our official event, Friday to Sunday, March 19th to 21st, 2021. Those of you who had rooms this year booked at the casino, I carried those forward, so you're going to have the same room accommodations that we had set up for this year. Some of you were unable to make it but wanted to be back on the list for next year. We've got that already noted for next year's planning. We'll be reaching out here kind of around the holidays again, as we normally do, or right after the holidays, to confirm rooms, to confirm your attendance or a desire to do that. And if any of you are not part of that event and would like to be, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or anyone on the FM Walleyes Unlimited Board of Directors. They can get your information. We can get it on the list and have you there. Right now there's a waiting list, of course, because we have a limited number of rooms at the casino, but we're always willing to work and try and squeeze in another room where we can here and there. So looking forward to another exciting event next year with our Lake Winnipeg ice fishing excursion. As you can see, I'm here in the boat tonight, and it's open water season, or it's real close to open water season. I hope that you are able to get out, or have been able to get out and enjoy the great outdoors. You know, being quarantined here, being in a situation where we're social distancing, the outdoors is a great opportunity to be able to get out of the house, enjoy what our part of the world has to offer, and what a great season it is right now as we transition into summer and our open water season. Like Eric and Rick gave us some updates on our Classic Cup tournaments, I wanted to update you on the AYA, the Angler Young Angler events. So we have two events in the AYA series that FM Walleyes is involved in. The first one being the Devil's Lake Angler Young Angler Tournament. The 2020 date for that is a rules meeting on July 10th, which is a Friday, and we do that in the evening, followed by July 11th, which is the actual tournament date. And as of right now, we are moving forward, we are planning, we are taking entries, which we've gotten a whole lot of, and we're planning to move ahead with that event as we normally would. Of course, as Rick mentioned earlier here in the meeting, we are taking our clues, we are taking our guidance from our leaders, from our state and local leaders in terms of what we can do with that event and parts of the event, including our picnic, our rules meeting, our weigh-in, and our awards ceremonies. We have determined a May 15th kind of as our date to target to make a final decision as to whether we go ahead or we make changes or cancel if we have to. That's certainly a last resort. But you know, right now, given the situation we're in and where we're at, that is a possibility. So we are, as I said, taking guidance from local state leaders, from our game and fish department there, and we'll keep folks updated as to what happens with that event. You can watch the FM Walleyes Facebook page. You can also watch the Devil's Lake Angler Young Angler Facebook page as well, and we'll have announcements there. Much like Rick described with our Classic Cups, for those who sent in entries, sent in their entry fee, this is not no risk here, and if we do have to make changes or cancel, that event will certainly return those checks. We'll refund the money, whatever we need to do to make sure that that we get that back to those folks who had signed up to participate. Again, I hope we don't have to do that, but there's always that just in case. And so May 15th for our Devil's Lake event is the date we are targeting for a decision. The second AYA, the Little Pine Angler Young Angler event, which takes place on Little Pine Lake near Perham, Minnesota, is set for our rules meeting on Friday, July 31st, with the event, the tournament, taking place Saturday, August 1st. Again, we have a little bit more time with that event, almost a month in between our Devil's Lake and our Little Pine event, and so we're going to continue to plan, continue to prepare as if that event is going to take place under the assumption that it is. Again, if we need to make changes based on state, local leaders, the Minnesota DNR, guidance that we receive in those areas, we will announce those changes. We'll probably hold off until early June to make any decision. We want to give ourselves as much time as we can to have the most information possible before we make a decision on any event. But also we want to give ourselves plenty of lead time so we can have the preparation and planning taking place and able to put on that event in a level and a quality that we want. And so stay tuned again. FM Walleyes on Facebook, the Little Pine Angler Young Angler Tournament page on Facebook, and we'll announce any changes, any announcements that are taking place in that event as well. I wish you all well. I hope that you're again able to be outdoors and enjoy the fishing and the hunting and the outdoor opportunities that are going on right now. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Eric ZIETZ, who has a drawing for us tonight, and he's going to give away a few prizes for our members. Thanks a lot.
Hey again, everybody. Remember, we can't get together this month, so we decided to do a couple more random drawings, paid members. We went ahead and put everybody's name in a bucket. I'll do some drawings here in a bit. This month, we're going to draw 2 more names. Each guy's going to get a Berkeley bait minder, spool of fighter line, and a brand new Abu Garcia Silver Max. So remember to keep current with your memberships. Be eligible for our member-only drawings. Seems like a pretty fair way to do it for everybody, and break up a little bit of this time that we have all along. Somebody's going to win some. We'll put them in this bucket. All right. First one. Scott Brewer, Moorhead. Jim Moore, West Fargo. Congratulations, Scott and Jim. I'll get a hold of you guys later this week. Until then, everybody stay safe. Stay comfortable, and make sure you keep your membership current so you get in the running for some cool prizes. See you next time.